A few weeks ago, I almost let my own pricing tool sell something for less than I paid for it. It's not underpriced, but actually below cost. And that's the bug that pushed me to build one more version of this thing before I move on to something completely different. This is the last update to this tool in its current form, and 4 of the changes in it actually matter. So if you're new here, a small recap. This is the free pricing tool from a couple of videos back, the one that checks your Brooklyn store inventory against the European market. And it has had a few updates since. This is the last one before I move on to something bigger, and I wanted to actually walk you through why. Because a couple of these fixes are the kind of thing that matters if you're trusting this tool with real inventory. The tool prices things against what the market is currently paying, but it never used to check that against what I actually paid for the items in the first place. So if the market generally crashed on something, meaning a part that used to be rare and isn't anymore, the tool would happily suggest a price below my own cost. Technically accurate to the market, but actually it's a losing sale. So now, if you enter what you paid per part in Brickstore, the tool uses that as a hard floor. It will never suggest a price below your cost, and by default it won't go below that cost plus 5% either. So there's always at least a sliver of a margin. 2 new outcomes will show up now. One is below cost, so when the market price would have cost me money, and low margin, when it actually covers cost but barely. Both get floored automatically, both get flagged so I can see exactly where it happened. The second fix flips the model on its head a little bit. So the tool's default instinct is, if you're above market, cut price. But that's not always correct. Some items are rare enough with a proven enough demand that being above the average price is exactly where you should be. So now it checks if this item is generally scarce, under 10 sellers in total, but has proven demand, meaning 20 or more actually sold in the last 6 months. If both are true, the tool stops trying to push the price down and instead prices it slightly above the average, on purpose. A real example, a Madame Pomfrey minifig I had listed at $9.50. The old logic would seem above market and cut the price. The new logic recognized the scarcity, saw the demand was real, and left the premium price exactly where it was. And this one's a direct callback. A couple of videos ago, some of you probably remember the trans black windscreen, the item that kept coming back with a wildly inflated market price that didn't match reality. And it happened again. And this time the tool catches it itself. If the suggested price is more than 3 times my current price, it doesn't blindly apply it. It keeps my current price exactly as is and flags it for me to check by hand. Same item, the same weird data, but this time the tool just knew how to be suspicious of itself. The last real one, and honestly, this might matter more than any of the others depending on who's watching. Every version up to now was hardwired for the European market. In euros, the region set to Europe, full stop. If you sold anywhere else, this tool just wasn't built for you. But that's gone now. Currency and region are both settings you can configure now, not something baked into the code. Are you selling in dollars, set it to USD, and North America, British pounds, Polish zloty, Swedish krona, the same idea. Change 2 lines. It supports a genuinely long list of currencies now, and regions beyond Europe too. North America, Asia, Oceania, even worldwide if you set it to unfiltered. On startup, the tool actually shows you which market and currency it's about to scan, so you can catch a wrong setting before it burns an hour of API calls instead of after. So if you watched the last few videos and thought, this is a great tool, but I'm not a European seller, think again, because that has changed. And a handful of smaller things that came along with this version. For instance, every pricing rule, the 95% target, the cut and raise thresholds, all of it now lives in one clearly labeled settings section at the top of the script. you can tune your own strategy without touching a single line of the actual code. And a few purely practical ones, output files are now timestamped, so nothing silently overwrites your last run. Progress tracking is now separate per input file instead of one shared file, and there's a proper timeout on the API calls, so it can't just hang forever if Bricklink decides to stop responding. So as I said before, this is genuinely the last version of this tool in its current shape. The next time I will bring this up, it's not gonna be another fix. It's gonna be a completely different tool, and one that's gonna tell me what to buy instead of what to charge. That one is still in development. This one is completely done by version 4.1.2. The original SVA Brickshop Market Scanner V3 is still exactly where it's always been. The links are down in the description below, no account needed. This version's access is still something I'm figuring out, but you'll hear it here first when I land on an answer. And just one small thing before I go. This happens to be my 200th video on this channel. It's kind of a strange number to type out loud, but I didn't want to make a whole thing of it here, but I just wanted to mention it. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see what's coming next, because the next tool video is genuinely a different thing and not just another patch. Thanks all for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!